Lisa, legend, Leslie speaks out about Caitlin Clark getting a lot of games on national television. Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for checking out this video. Hope you're having a fantastic day. Shout out 19. Here we go. Lisa Leslie had some things to say about Caitlin Clark, which I thought was worthy of attention. I know we talked about this a little bit ago, especially Dawn Montgomery and what she had to say. It was only Caitlin's done absolutely nothing in basketball. She has zero basketball accomplishments. So I thought it would be nice to check out a more level-headed Lisa Leslie and listen to what she has to say. Here we go.
Stephen A. Smith had a very interesting discourse with Fee recently over the number of games the Fever have broadcasted this season compared to other teams who have also got stars on them. So I'm curious what you make of W's decision to lean into highlighting its stars, even if, they aren't the best.
I
Okay, hold on. Step back, jump off. Did y'all hear the way that question was worded? These people are absolutely nuts. Absolutely nuts. They are cocoa. Go for Cocoa Puffs. Um, did you hear that? How that was worded? That she had to throw shade because she wants a specific answer, and she had to throw shade at Caitlin Clark there, and the way she worded that question. And I am going to play it again. Did you hear what she said about the star? Even though she's not the best, fourth in MVP voting her rookie year, one vote away from unanimous rookie of the year, 62 record set, all first team WNBA, which by the way makes her a top 5 WNBA player, but it's not about how good she is.
Smith had a very interesting discourse with Fee recently over the number of games the Fever have broadcasted this season compared to other teams who have also got stars on them. So I'm curious what you make of W's decision to lean into highlighting its stars, even if, they aren't the best.
You hear that? Highlighting the stars, leaning into that, Caitlin Clark, even if they aren't the best. Wow. And other teams have stars. Let's define stars for a moment. You could say stars in terms of the best players, but I think here it's important to realize they're stars in that, yes, they're good, but they're also incredibly popular, right? Just like an actor, there might be an actor who a lot of that person you see and you're like, every time you see him or her, you're like, oh, I know that face. I've seen them in a million things, but I don't even know their name, but they're just good and they play small roles and they do a great job. And then there are stars, and they're stars because not just because they have the bigger roles, they have the bigger roles because they're more popular. But man, they cannot let go. But let's listen to Lisa talk now.
I think it's all about money, marketing, and we cannot deny what Caitlin Clark has done for the women's game. I'm not going to act like it's something that we don't see. She's had a huge effect. Call it the Caitlin Clark effect. Yes, have we ever had teams have to get into larger arenas to play against a team? No, we have not. So if we have more eyeballs on the game and Caitlin Clark brings that, why would we feel some kind of way because she has more television games?
Oh my goodness. Glory, glory, hallelujah. Praise be. Like, how difficult is it for anyone else in media in the WNBA to say what Lisa Leslie just said? Hey, we have never had this before. We have never had every team in the league that didn't play in a big arena move to a big arena for the games against Caitlin Clark. We have never had that before. We have never had this exposure before. Why would we have a problem with it? That is a great question, Lisa Leslie. I appreciate you asking it.
I think we have to understand that when one player eats, we all eat. And as we all get more opportunities, it just opens it up for everyone else. And I think Caitlin has said that even herself in certain interviews. And I love that. I love that she's not the player who's like, it's all about her. I just don't, again, I don't know what the big deal is about the fact that Caitlin is getting a lot of love.
Well, we know the big deal. Jealousy is a huge, huge part of it. The attention she gets, how good she is, they don't like that. And to that point, by the way, in another video, you may have seen it. I'm not sure when it's going to be up. If not, check it out, where this guy wrote this article about Paige Beckers and completely trashing Caitlin Clark and, well, more specifically, her fans. Um, Talked about I just completely lost my train of thought. Oh, about how Paige would always, deflect and talk about other players and stars and this and that are stars. And Caitlin does the same thing, right? We go back to something and oh man, let me know in the comments below. I forget who actually said it. I think it was someone high up on the Fever. It was like toward the end of the season. We talked about behind the scenes. Caitlin Clark was trying to get players bonuses for the Fever away games because of the attendance numbers and everything, quietly doing stuff like that. So, yeah, Caitlin Clark may not be out there being like, "Oh, I'm doing all these great things for all these other people," but she absolutely is trying to spread it around and absolutely wants every other player in the league to eat. And that is going to happen if you just get on the Caitlin Clark train, people.
She deserves that, and she's helped change this game just as a lot of other players have. But it is what it is, and I think that we are all benefiting from the effects that she's had on the game. And I just appreciate the way she shows up. Listen, she's a competitor. She's a trash talker. She makes players around her better. She's exciting to watch, and quite frankly,
I love that. She just summed it up. Why doesn't anyone get this? She's a competitor. She's a trash talker. I I have no problem with trash talk. I've always said there are levels to things where I think it goes beyond trash talk, but I have no problem with any player trash talking other players on the court and getting it back. Not a problem at all. She's entertaining. She's exciting to watch. It's really, really simple.
I've missed seeing her. Being at Unrivaled, I wish that she was there. Like, I've missed seeing her play. So I really look forward to seeing her back out there.
I know I keep interrupting, but I can't remember everything. Plus, I thought that was a cool point. I know Lisa didn't mean to do it, right? And she announced games, but that's kind of she just kind of threw some shade at Unrivaled right there, didn't she? She wished Caitlyn had been there. She would have liked to see Caitlyn because we all know the games would have been a hell of a lot more entertaining. Hell of a lot more entertaining. Caitlin Clark out there playing the 3v3 freewheeling fast-paced basketball where her range, the logo is now mid court. Look, I wouldn't want her to play it. I mean, there's no reason for her to, but just, out of context, it would be fun to watch her do something like that. Absolutely. I would enjoy it.
But as I
Hmm.
do all of the WNBA players, like, we are really watching a very exciting level of basketball. I miss seeing Asia Wilson out there. Like,
Yeah,
she's to me still one of the best players in the world. So
fact.
it's been great seeing Nafisa Collier out there. I think she's in the talk for being one of the best players in the world. Like, so I feel like the competition is there. You got to go out there and prove yourselves. And listen, are we going to get upset about 5, 6, 10 games less on television or not? I don't think we should. We have access to find these games now in a way that we never had before.
There you go. Now, Lisa covered herself well. She covered herself well there at the end and, brought in the other players and how great they are. Got to get Asia Wilson in there because if she hadn't done that, her phone was blowing up, right? She was going to be getting a text from Asia or, best friend Dolores. Uh, but yeah, what'd you say? 5, 8, 10 games, whatever it is. I think what the Fever have 41. I think the next team is the Liberty have like 32. And again, those 41 games are against WNBA opponents. But I thought this was worth putting out there. I know some people are going to say like, "Oh, you already talked about the schedule." Yeah, but you know what? I think it's also important to not just go after the people who say nonsense, but give props and have something positive as well. I think this was great that Lisa Leslie did this. Hopefully, it's the type of thing that gets more people on board. Maybe you say, "Hey, you know what? Lisa Leslie survived. Maybe we can praise Caitlyn too because we all want to eat." Although, from what I see, Rebecca Lobo, every time she praises Caitlin Clark, still has to lock down replies. But hey, baby steps. We're getting there, right? Baby steps. And also the question at the end, at the beginning, I thought it was absolutely wild the way she worded that. But yeah, I'm gonna leave it there. I appreciate you checking out this video. Let me know your thoughts on this in the comments below. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will talk to you later.